Do you ever feel overwhelmed by the ever-changing world of technology? Tech It Out can help make some sense of it all. Breaking down geek speak into street speak, technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman covers consumer technology each week for every listener. Mark tackles the latest news, reviews, and how-tos to help you understand what's hot, what's not, and why.
Hey everyone, welcome to Tech It Out. It's episode 383. Hope you're all doing great on this first show of March. By the time you hear this, I'll be on my way to Barcelona to attend Mobile World Congress, MWC. It's an annual tech event that, as the name suggests, focuses primarily on smartphones and wearables and other mobile gear. It's my first time attending, and actually my first time in Spain, and so I'm stoked to see what's there. And so if you write me on social media or you send me an email from my website, marksaltzman.com, just know it may take me a little bit of time to reply. But on that note, if you do follow me on social media, you'll see that I will be posting from Mobile World Congress, photos and videos and such. Anything cool I come across, probably a lot of AI this year. If you're on social media and you want to check out my coverage from Mobile World Congress, I'll spell my name in a moment, but I'm on X, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok. It's Mark Saltzman, MarkSaltzman, Mark Saltzman. And my website is simply marksaltzman.com, Mark with a C, Saltzman with a Z, and you'll see at the bottom you can send me a note. And speaking of AI, I was in New York this week for Amazon's official unveiling of Alexa Plus. So this is a much more intelligent Alexa. She's more personable, conversational, and she has memory, as you're going to hear about in our first interview in about a minute or two from now. So she'll remember things you like, you don't like, what you tell her to remember. Pretty wild stuff. And this is coming next month. Alexa Plus, now powered by generative AI and some other technologies under the hood. And so we will kick off Tech It Out with an interview about Alexa Plus. AI happens to also be part of the second interview on Tech It Out this hour. We're going to learn about Nobi smart lights, Nobi. This is an age tech company that focuses on aging adults and the tools that they can use in order to live longer independently at home. That trend is called aging in place. So we're going to hear what their smart lights or smart lamps can do, much more than just providing illumination, but there's some AI there that is pretty cool. It's tied to fall detection, so you're going to want to hear all about that, especially if you have parents, grandparents, any other loved ones who are living at home and you're worried about them falling. My guest will explain how their technology differs from wearable pendants and smartwatches and the like. So really cool stuff. And then finally on Tech It Out today, we'll learn about BlackLyte. This is a company with gaming accessories. That'll be a little bit later on in this show. And so a very packed Tech It Out to get to this hour. Let's officially kick off this show with our first interview immediately following the Amazon event in New York this week. Alexa is about to get a whole lot smarter. The popular personal assistant, already in more than 600 million devices, like Amazon Echo smart speakers and Echo Show smart displays, she's getting a gift for her 10th birthday, the gift of added intelligence, more personality, and memory, too. And she's getting a name change as well, Alexa Plus. I attended the New York City coming out party for Alexa Plus, and here to tell us what Alexa Plus is capable of, we're joined on the line by Scott Durham, Director of Software Development and Smart Home at Amazon. Good to chat with you, Scott. Thanks for your time. It was a big week for Alexa.
Thanks, Mark. I'm excited to talk to you about Alexa Plus. It's really amazing.
Yeah, so why don't we start at a high level, just as a summary. What is Alexa Plus all about?
Alexa Plus is bringing an entirely new intelligence to the Alexa experience. So millions of customers have come to love Alexa for everyday tasks like planning music, controlling the smart home, setting timers and alarms. And now Alexa's intelligence is even smarter. She's able to understand way more natural language. She has very conversational abilities and entirely new personality. But the best thing is, this is AI intelligence that gets real things done in the real world. People have come to trust Alexa and all of her capabilities, and now it's even easier to use those today.
All right, so let's unpack some of those new capabilities. Before I ask you to share some of your favorite examples of what Alexa Plus can do you need a new Echo smart speaker or a smart display, like an Echo Show screen or a Fire TV device? Or will this new Alexa Plus work with what people already have in their homes?
What's great about Echo devices is we're constantly adding new things to them. Even devices that customers bought years ago, we're constantly launching new features, and that's absolutely true with Alexa Plus too. We're supporting a huge number of existing devices in millions and millions of customer homes.
Okay, awesome. And I know there's also a new app that we'll probably get to and a website, a revamped Alexa.com. But let's discuss some of the new features of Alexa Plus. Maybe you can walk us through some sample scenarios. From what I understand, and you've already hinted at this, she's more conversational. You don't have to keep saying the wake word just once. And then after that, you just talk to your assistant as if they were a real person.
Yeah, that's a really amazing part of the new experience is you can set up entire features like visual identification. And then for the Echo Show devices that have a display and a camera, just looking at the display will let her know that you're ready to start a conversation. And so you don't even have to use the wake word in those cases. And it's just much easier to have extended ongoing conversations without using the wake word every time.
All right, you say the name once if it's a smart speaker. If it's a smart display, it would not only recognize a person looking at the camera and can be initiated, but it'll also know that it's you, opposed to, say, your partner or your kids, and it could be more customized of an experience as well. So let's pretend it's a smart speaker. You say the wake word, and then what could you do with Alexa Plus that you were not able to do with Alexa?
Well, Alexa has an incredible amount of new intelligence, and she brings that intelligence to every feature that she's always been able to do, plus a bunch of new ones. And so for existing features, as an example, music's always been a top use case for Alexa. It's got these great speakers, and it's always been so easy to pull up any song, any artist, any album. Now it's really fun because you may not remember like a specific title of a song or even a specific artist, but you can have just very casual conversations like, hey, Alexa, what was that song that Bradley Cooper sang in that movie? It was a duet. And Alexa will come up with the duet that Bradley Cooper did with Lady Gaga in A Star is Born. And so it's just one example where this intelligence is stretched throughout, and it makes every interaction both a lot easier, but also just a lot of fun.
And what we saw on stage, Scott, was that you could actually say to Alexa Plus, and now show me that clip from the movie when they're singing that song together. And so a compatible TV, like a Fire TV, may turn on and show you that scene.
That's exactly right. Like there's this great experience with Fire TV and Prime Video where you can just ask for any part of a movie and we'll bring up that clip and play it for you. And it's just a great example of how this new intelligence goes beyond just any single device or any single interface. It truly stretches across every device that can connect to Alexa in your house and makes it all just flow together in a really natural and super easy and interactive way.
So staying with that, even Ring doorbells, I saw a demo on stage where it was asked, did anybody walk Buddy that day? And Alexa knows that Buddy is the name of your dog. She now has memory. And it will scrub through your Ring video clips and show you anything that has the dog in it. And then you can see if someone did, in fact, walk the dog that day. That's a pretty cool example, cool application, something that's really handy.
It's really amazing. And we're having so much fun using this kind of feature. The integration with Ring is amazing, and it's super deeply integrated with Alexa's new intelligence. And so it uses a great new Ring feature called Smart Video Search, and that's available in the Ring app today.
Right.
Now Alexa can use her intelligence to search for anything across your Ring videos. And like you mentioned, you can give Alexa knowledge and memories of you, your family, things around the house. She'll pull those into the conversation at the right times. And so an example that we showed you yesterday, we told out Alexa, hey, we've got a dog. His name is Buddy. He's a Bernie Doodle. And then you can just say, hey, did you see anyone give Buddy his walks today? And Alexa will pull up all the clips of Buddy coming and going from the front porch.
Right.
It's also great for pulling up any family memories that so many Ring cameras can capture. And with a great Echo Show device, you can just get the family gathered around the kitchen or wherever you may place it and just watch fun clips of the family doing fun things.
Speaking of memory, Scott, we are chatting with Scott Durham. He's Director of Software Development and Smart Home at Amazon. We're talking about the new Alexa Plus unveiled on Wednesday in New York City. With memory, Alexa Plus can also remember your preferences. For example, food. You could say, I love Indian food, but I'm pescatarian. I eat, fish and eggs and cheese, but I don't eat beef and pork and what have you. It will remember that. So in the future, if you ask for a recipe to make at home, Alexa will remember that and suggest an Indian dish that doesn't have meat in it. Or if you order something saying at a restaurant, Alexa may flag that it is not a pescatarian dish kind of thing. That's new, right? That she can remember things. Because I think currently with the regular Alexa, it's like a fresh conversation every time.
Yeah, it's one of Alexa's new superpowers is really getting to know you, every member of your family, and then integrating that knowledge throughout the experience. And so your example of food preferences is a really great one. You can set those for every member of your family. And they may be like kind of hard and, a difficult combination of different interests and preferences, but Alexa's new intelligence will combine those together. And if you're trying to create the perfect recipe or order the perfect to-go for the people that are going to be around the house at that time, she'll help you find the perfect thing based on the thing she knows.
Yeah, I think in the demo, they said something like, we're having a dinner party and one of the people coming is our friend's daughter who's like 5 and she's picky. What should we make her? And Alexa suggested, I don't know, whatever, chicken bites or pasta and gave her a reason why and stuff. So yeah, really neat stuff. We're going to learn more about Alexa Plus, including when it's rolling out and what you need to get going when we return on Tech It Out. We'll also hear a few more examples of the things that she can do tied to her memory that is not available with the current Alexa. So we're going to continue chatting about that when we return. Also on the program, don't forget, we're going to learn about Nobi smart lights for aging adults, people who want to live longer at home independently, and how these smart lights can help them with fall detection. They don't have to wear anything. That's all part of the aging in place trend that we're seeing now. It's more than a trend, in fact. So we're going to get to all of that and more when we return on Tech It Out. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Listen to Tech It Out whenever you want. Find the Tech It Out podcast at iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to Tech It Out. Before we continue chatting with Scott Durham, Director of Software Development and Smart Home at Amazon, to learn more about Alexa Plus, I wanted to give a quick shout out to Visa. They are a fantastic partner on this program. We cover cybersecurity a lot and how you can best protect yourself in the digital age, even if you're not super tech savvy. One part of the solution is securely shopping online. And so I'm thrilled about my partnership with Visa on Tech It Out, as they've made some significant investments in fraud prevention over the past 5 years, as much as $10 billion. Yes, that's billion with a B, to support Visa's brand promise to protect the financial information of individuals and businesses. Zero liability means peace of mind when you shop online using your Visa card. There can be no half measures when it comes to cybersecurity, which is why the company takes an aggressive and multi-layered approach to combating the rising threat of malicious software and other threats by well-funded and global criminal enterprises. Read more about Visa and how securing the world's payments is priority one at visa.com/security. That's visa.com/security. All right, a couple of minutes left with Scott Durham from Amazon to learn more about Alexa Plus, a significantly upgraded Alexa personal assistant unveiled this week in New York. Alexa is now more conversational, more personalized, and also has memory. She will recall things. And speaking of memory, we saw an example of uploading a PDF document. I think it was an HOA document at alexa.com. And then in the future, you could say, am I allowed to install solar panels on my roof? And Alexa will go through those documents that you've previously uploaded and then say to you in plain English, yes, you are allowed, Mark, to install solar panels so long as they're not visible from the road. So that's pretty cool that it can analyze and summarize documents for you and recall them later. That was neat. And also access to your calendar, your contacts. We saw an example yesterday on stage of, I think someone had an appointment with their, I don't know, I think it was like a dance recital, but at the same time, you're supposed to pick up your mom from the airport. Alexa proactively, like preemptively called out that conflict on your calendar, told you about it, and then suggested, do you want me to order an Uber to pick up your mom from the airport? Stuff like that. And then text her the Uber information. That's really wild.
It's amazing. Like, this is one of the coolest features. You can just email Alexa anything or tell her anything, and she'll remember those facts. And in many cases, she'll take proactive action on them. So you can forward her an invite to a party or an event. That will be automatically added to your calendar without saying anything, doing anything else, just forwarding it to Alexa at alexa.com, and it'll be placed in the perfect place in your account and used right there in your experience. And those really deep documents that you mentioned is a fantastic feature, because this intelligence that Alexa Plus now has lets you pull those back in any time and sort through like really complex topics, really complex documents, and get to exactly the answer and the information that you want.
Yeah, that's great. And then there's so much we haven't even touched on, Scott. Even like kids, they can ask Alexa to give them a story. And if you have a smart display, not just a smart speaker, it will create visuals for you. Like, I want a story about a peacock that plays electric guitar who's going on an adventure. And Alexa Plus will narrate a story for the kids and show images to complement it. So as we wrap up, tell us please when Alexa Plus will roll out, how much it will cost, and where we can learn more.
Alexa Plus is going to be available in early access to customers starting at the end of March. It's going to be $19.99 a month to subscribe to Alexa Plus and get all of its great new features, but it will also be completely free for Prime members. So a really huge value.
All right. So to be clear, it's free if you're a Prime member already, which I think has a huge value proposition. Free deliveries on millions of items, often the same day or next day. You've got access to Prime Music and ebooks and, of course, TV shows and movies and other benefits for being a Prime member. And now access to Alexa Plus. And as you mentioned, it works with most existing Echo devices and Fire TV devices, adding Alexa.com, smartphone app. So the best place is simply Alexa.com to learn more as well?
Absolutely. That's where you can find out all the details and sign up if you're interested.
Awesome, Scott. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mark. Great to talk with you.
What do you think of Alexa Plus? Would you use it? Let me know on social media, or if you prefer email, let me know what you think. I'm on all the big social platforms. Just search for me by name. It's Mark Saltzman, Mark with a C, SaltzMan, or marksaltzman.com, and you can send me a note privately if you prefer that over social media. But curious to know what you thought, if this is something that you would use. And what about the price? At first, truthfully, when I was in the audience and they said it was going to be $19.99 a month, there was a breath between that comment and when they said, but free if you're an Amazon Prime member. So I'm really happy they're doing that because, again, as I said in my interview with Scott, and I do mean this, that I think it's a no-brainer. It's a great service, well worth the money, in my opinion. And now with Alexa Plus, but I'm glad that they're making it free if you're already a Prime member. So that's my 2 cents for what it's worth. All right. As I mentioned, the Amazon interview was just one of 3 on today's Tech It Out. So when we return after this short break, we're going to catch up with Nobi. That's Nobi, Nobi.life. If you want to check out their website. This is a smart light for aging adults. We don't really say seniors anymore. Not that it's a negative term, but a bit outdated, as my AARP editor has reminded me. And so this is for those who are aging in place. They want to live longer at home independently. And so it has fall detection built into the lamp. Really cool stuff. Also on today's Tech It Out, BlackLyte. We're going to hear about gaming accessories, a new chair for those who like to get their game on, console or PC gaming. So we're going to learn about that brand. It's Black and then LYTE. And so a lot more Tech It Out to get to. Thanks for all the great feedback from last week when I had Twitch on and their partnership with NASA. I was told that I was saying the word wrong, NASA, like Nassau, Bahamas. And so I had a nice listener in Tennessee correct me. So thank you for that. So yes, it's NASA, not Nassau. All right, more Tech It Out coming right up after this.
Want to follow Mark? Google him. Mark with a C and Saltzman with a Z. Breaking down geek speak into street speak. This is Tech It Out. Tech It Out with technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman.
Welcome back to Tech It Out. As you likely know, the population is aging due to the baby boom generation, those born between 1946 and 1964. Fun fact, by 2030, all boomers will be 65 and older. And with this shift comes different priorities in the home to help our loved ones age in place, is the phrase, aging in place, living longer independently at home. Today, we're going to hear about smart lights that do much more than provide illumination. Joining us from the AI-powered company Nobi to explain is its co-founder, Roeland Pelgrims. Welcome to the show, Roeland. Good to chat with you.
Hi, Mark. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. I cover this space a lot as a journalist, writing for AARP and Zoomer in Canada for the aging adult population. So with that in mind, at a high level, tell us what Nobi is all about.
Sure. Nobi is the smartest light in the world. We like to empower caregivers and elderly with desirable technology. And we do that with fall detection, fall prevention, well-being monitoring, anything we can do basically to keep elderly safe and caregivers happy. That's our mission. And we do that packed in a beautiful design light.
All right. So Nobi, the company, and the product is called Nobi as well, which are these smart lights, Got it. All right. And we'll unpack some of those features in a moment. But I was curious to know about the company's MO. So you're an age tech organization that wants to leverage AI, artificial intelligence, to help aging people live longer independently and safely. Have you noticed, Roeland, that there is an increased focus on aging in place as a trend overall?
Yeah, I think this goes far beyond a trend. It's a must. There is a tsunami of aging. The result of that is an ever-growing gap between people that need care and caregivers available to deliver that care. And that gap needs bridging. And at Nobi, we strongly believe that bridge is technology. And that technology should be human and desirable technology. So stuff that you actually buy, not because you need it, but because you want it.
And to be clear, a caregiver could be a family member as well, right? It doesn't have to be a professional caregiver. Yeah, like your aging mom or your granddad. You may not be living with them, but technology can serve as that bridge, as you called it, to ensure that your loved ones are living safe and independent lives, even when you're not with them physically.
Exactly.
Yeah. So let's hear a bit more about Nobi's solutions. Okay. So these are smart lights. When I hear smart lights, I think of, an app or a voice controlled light that you can turn on or off or maybe dim. But yours goes above and beyond that, which you've already hinted at, including fall detection. Can you elaborate?
Yeah, basically what we've done is we've taken a beautiful luminaire and we've stuffed it with technology. So that's sensors, that's computing power, that's connectivity, that's also sound. And with that collection of sensing and computing power, we deliver functionality. You have to think about us really like an iPhone that you glue to the ceiling, on which we deploy various apps. And one of those apps is fall detection, but it really goes beyond that.
As a journalist, I've covered millimeter wave technology, where you don't have to wear a pendant or a smartwatch to detect a fall. It uses Wi-Fi, if I'm not mistaken. And so are your smart lights similar in the sense that you don't have to wear anything? Because you may forget to wear something that can detect a fall, or the batteries may need a charge and therefore it's not going to work. So is that similar?
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. The goal is to transform dumb and blind environments in smart and connected rooms that care for you. And the technology that we use is actually optical sensors. And the reason we do so is because perfection matters. If any solution that gets engineered achieves a, let's say, fall detection reliability of 95%, then that is an outstanding engineering accomplishment. But it's not an operational success, because that would mean that, let's take an average senior living community, that technology would result in 70 phone calls per day to a front desk for events that never happened. And what I think sets us apart from any other solution out there is our gold standard technology performance. Today, we still have in our entire install base a 0% false negatives rate. And what that means, Mark, is that it has never happened that someone fell in a Nobi observed room that we didn't see. And that's really key, because if you want to be impactful in care, you need to approach perfection. And that's what we try to do with our technology choice.
We're chatting with Roeland Pelgrims. He's co-founder of a company called Nobi. This is an age tech company that manufactures and sells these smart lights that do a lot more than just provide illumination for a room. It can detect a fall. So that's the primary benefit, along with light, of course, is fall detection.
Yeah, and fall detection is key. It's where it all started. But what we like to do even more, obviously, is fall prevention. And we have actually great results there. In a case study that we did in the UK, we've been able to reduce falls by 84%. If we look in the communities that we serve in the US, we're around 51% of falls that we reduce. And that's, amongst others, like you mentioned, thanks to light. Light matters. It's a source of well-being, but also a source of safety. Give you an example, Mark. Imagine, Mark, your grandfather at night wants to get out of bed, right? The light will immediately see that intention of leaving the bed, and will go on with a soft dimmed light, not so much to wake him up, but to make sure that he has visual reference. As soon as he leaves the bed completely, light goes on full force so that your grandfather can go to the bathroom, afterwards return to bed, and the lamp will shut down. Those functions are actually, from an intervention perspective, pretty simple. Turn the light on when it's needed. But from a tech perspective, they're super advanced, because you need to make very sure that whenever you intervene is when people really have the intention of leaving the bed, but always when they have the intention to leave the bed. And that's really, I think, where the magic lies, is to provide technology support whenever it is needed, but only when it's needed. We want to be very much like Superman. 99% of time, we're just Clark Kent, but when you need us, we temporarily put on funny pants and a cape.
Nice reference there, Roeland. Okay, so fall prevention falls under the illumination part of things. So the better the light, the less likely that you may fall, trip, what have you. And the AI, I guess, is the detection that you're just moving around in bed. You want a soft light versus a brighter light when you need, guidance to get to a bathroom, for example. Is that fair?
Yeah, so we run our AI models on the light, and that local processing is actually quite important from a privacy perspective. So the way the solution works is we take data in all the time, and in a process that we call real-time anonymization, we translate all that data in abstract stick figures. And our AI analyzes the behavior of those stick figures in real time, not only to see if someone has fallen, yes or no, but also if they're in the bed, out of bed, in the bathroom, how long they're in the bathroom, how well they are sleeping, etc. So the profile you get out of that is really a pretty complete but privacy safe well-being report that helps caregivers, indeed professionals, but also family members, to take care of their loved ones the best way possible.
I'm fascinated by technology like this that seems, at least sounds like it is virtually invisible, but it can do its thing without being hard to use or anything like that. So we're going to learn more about Nobi lights when we return. I know this is a topic that is especially of interest for those with aging parents, as I do, truthfully. My folks are in their 80s. And so stick with me. More Tech It Out coming right up after this.
Breaking down geek speak into street speak. Tech It Out, hosted by Mark Saltzman.
Welcome back to the program. A few more minutes with Roeland Pelgrims. He's co-founder of an AI-powered company called Nobi, N-O-B-I, to tell us about its smart lights or smart lamps. Just continuing the thought before the break, can this be tweaked? Like, let's say your aging parent is living with a partner and the partner is still sleeping, though you want to go to the bathroom. You don't want the bright lights to turn on for the entire bedroom. Is there a way that you can tweak it, like via an app?
Yeah, and that's actually a very interesting question, Mark. The big challenge, I think, with technology, and definitely if you want to build it like we do, with a very strong focus on design and desirability, is often not so much technical feasibility, but desirability. So can we indeed make sure that light is on or off, depending on the preferences of those residents, of that couple living together? Absolutely. And then the big challenge is not that from a tech perspective, but from a user experience perspective. How do you make sure that the preferences of those people are captured in a really comfortable way so that they can actually use it? And that's less about technology performance. It's really about UX and UI design. And that's something that we kind of obsess over.
Okay, yeah. Well, especially for that age group, it has to be easy to use. And I'm going to ask you about setup in a moment before I let you go. But first, just to play devil's advocate, Roeland, I mean, one of the benefits of having this technology, I would think, is that you don't need to wear anything or have it charged up in order to detect a fall, like an Apple Watch or a Philips Lifeline pendant or something like that. But the downside, if I may, is that it's limited to the room that the light is in. So if you don't have them throughout the entire home, or you go out for a walk and you fall, this may not protect you.
Absolutely. And that's also why our philosophy is really a philosophy of combination. So we don't have anything against wearables. We just know that in-house, their adoption is relatively low, and that very often wearables don't succeed in detecting the events that they're supposed to detect. There was this study in the UK where the oldest elderly, so 95 and older, when they were on the floor, and they had one of those panic buttons and they had an alarm system that they could press that verified, okay, how often are they able to do that? And basically 8 out of 10 were unable to do so. And that's a pretty dramatic result. Do I like wearables? Absolutely. They're on the skin. They can give great information. And when you're outside with location tracking, that can be super valuable information. Indoors, however, we notice that the performance is just not strong enough to be 100% sure that your parent or your grandparent is actually safe. And if you want to change the way you deliver care, you need this 100% certainty. So do we like wearables? Absolutely. Great source of additional information and a perfect complement for outdoors. Would we rely on them solely for indoor monitoring and optimization of care? No, absolutely not.
Fair. Thank you for that. All right. And then as we wrap up, Roeland, is this something that's difficult to set up? Like, is it a special bulb? You called it a lamp, so that implies there's more hardware than the light itself. And how much are we talking about here? Is it sold in packs in case you want them in different parts of the home? That kind of thing.
Yeah. The obsession with design and desirability is not only from the perspective of the people that have to look at it. So we don't only want to design beautiful objects. We also want that desirability to be true for installation partners, technicians, and what have you. So we have invested quite a lot in a light that is super easy to mount. So if you can mount an IKEA light, then you can mount a Nobi light. It's that simple.
So you don't need professional installation. It is a DIY or off-the-shelf solution.
We don't recommend it actually, because much more important than the installation of the hardware is the proper use and the adoption of the technology. And people that embrace Nobi usually have a good reason to do so. It's either because they fell for the first time, they're worried about their loved ones. And the fact that we try to bring peace of mind is something that we strongly associate with a professional onboarding. So could you install it by yourself? Sure, from a tech perspective. Should you? Well, from an ideal user experience perspective, we prefer to send in Nobi experts that can guide you through that entire process. Today, Nobi works always with professional partners, so people that are used to deliver technology in people's homes.
Approximately how much do they start at, and where can we learn more?
Nobi is $1,399 for the smart light, and we have a smaller sibling, Nobita, which we use in bathrooms, in toilets, etc. That is at $699. And if you want to learn more about Nobi, then just go to www.nobi.life, and that is life with an F.
All right, so it's nobi.life, so nobi.life to learn more. Our guest has been Roeland Pelgrims. Thanks so much for your time, Roeland. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Just as I asked for your feedback after the Amazon Alexa Plus interview, I'd like to hear from you what you think of Nobi, either in concept or the price. Maybe you've already used it. By the way, they also work with retirement homes, long-term care facilities, but I really sort of build that interview as a solution to aging in place. And so I focused almost exclusively on the fact that we may have aging parents who may want to live longer at home independently. And so as a remote caregiver, someone not living with them, how this can help them as well. But they also have some partnerships with retirement homes and the like. So it would be remiss for me not to at least acknowledge that. And there's a service as well, a service fee, a monthly fee that is all outlined on the website, nobi.life, nobi.life. But let me know what you think. I'm on X and Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, or you can hit me up on my website, marksaltzman.com, Mark with a C, Saltzman with a Z, and let me know what you think of this. When we return on Tech It Out, we're going to get our game on and talk with BlackLyte. This is a company that has some gaming chairs and other accessories. Speaking of which, don't forget about storage. You want fast SSD solid state drives, whether external or internal solutions for your PlayStation, your Xbox, your laptop or desktop. I always trust SanDisk, sandisk.com. All right, we'll be right back with more Tech It Out.
Follow Mark Saltzman on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Listen to Tech It Out whenever you want.
Computer gamers often look to buy accessories for their setup, like wireless headsets, for private listening or to trash talk others online. Or maybe gamers want fast and comfortable mice and keyboards to give them an edge over the competition. Of course, there are monitors with fast refresh rates. But what about gaming chairs and desks? Well, here to tell us all about a new brand, BlackLyte, we're joined by Alex Liu. He's the founder of the company. Hi, Alex. Thanks for your time today.
Hey, Mark. Thanks for having us.
For those unfamiliar with BlackLyte, and we should tell our listeners it's one word, and light is spelled L-Y-T-E, so it's all in capitals, BlackLyte. Tell us about the brand.
I would say we are an integrated system that provide an immersive experience for people who's into gaming, music, or any type of entertainment. Or we can say our brand is for the game changers, because not only for gaming industry, actually, a lot of office users can benefit from our brand also.
Thanks for explaining that. It's also for other kinds of entertainment as well as those who work in an office as well. So with that in mind, Alex, tell us about some of your more popular products.
So the two products that we're launching to market right now is our gaming chair and gaming desk. We have the Athena gaming chair right now and Atlas table. I can tell you a little bit from the chair first.
Yeah, please.
A little bit over a year and a half developing this chair to solve the back pain problem that happens to a lot of gamers and office users. We spend a lot of development power into the ergonomic design. We do have a lumbar support combined with our memory foam to give the best support to the back. And then also we use aluminum base for a more lightweight design. And then we use a level 3 piston, which supports a maximum of 150 kilograms. Should be covering majority of the population. We did use a rollerblade casters, which protects your floor, doesn't damage anything. And then we have a 4D armrest, which can change the direction of the armrest that can use for mobile gaming, iPad use, on the chair, lounging, or different situations. And also, we have a newly developed texture that is, we can call it the vegan wool, that's very skin friendly and very different from our competitors. For the gaming desk, that's where all the juice comes in. We can't just say a desk. It's probably more a modular platform, I would say. So we do have our own design chip and module built into the desk, powered by our own graphic algorithm and audio algorithm analytics. So basically, we're analyzing the in-screen data, take data from the game, convert them into lighting signal.
Whoa. Okay. This is really cool. Okay, Alex, you got to explain this part. So the chair and the desk, and I know you don't need to have both. It'll work with either one.
Yes.
They plug into computer or video game console?
Correct. So we run the software within the console or PC, analyze the data, and then it can sync to the other devices. And that's why I said we're an integrated brand, because it not only sync to our product, we also open bridge to a lot of different brands, which is in the development right now. I can't really claim what name they are, but you guys will start seeing stuff on the news.
All right. So just to be clear, the chair and the desk, they plug into the computer, I guess, through USB. Is that right?
So the table or the chip plug into the computer by HDMI.
Oh, HDMI.
Yes.
And then it synchronizes with that game content for lighting and sound, or just lighting?
Lighting and sound. That's why I said it's also for the music producers, because with the audio algorithm, we can analyze the tone, the pitch of different sound and create a light show for any type of music you listen to.
Okay, very cool. So there's speakers inside of the chair and in the desk.
In the chair at the moment, no. We do have a developments with light built into the chair.
Multicolored lights? Like
yes, multicolored.
RGB.
RGB IC, you already know.
We are chatting with Alex Liu. He is founder of a company called BlackLyte. It's one word, BlackLyte. And they are the folks behind the Athena and Atlas gaming chair. And don't call it a desk. Let's call it a battle station.
Correct.
So I was going to ask you, I know that there are some other high-tech chairs and desks. What would you say make the BlackLyte products more unique compared to your competition?
For the chair, it's more like a companion product to the table or for the whole system. It succeeds the competitor's quality in the market and offers the best value for the customer. For the table, from the conversation, you already know, basically, we don't really have a competitor in the market right now. We are open up a new field that no one is in right now.
Could this work with a video game console like a PlayStation 5, an Xbox Series X, or a Nintendo Switch?
Yes, PS5, Nintendo's, Xbox, that requires a different hub to analyze the data. It does sync to the light too. So you can go directly visit our website, goblacklyte.com, GOBLACKLYTE.com.
Great. All right, goblacklyte.com. Alex, great to chat with you. Wishing you much luck and success with the BlackLyte brand for gamers and entertainment seekers. Thanks again.
Thank you, man. Wish all the best.
And thank you for tuning in to Tech It Out, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this show. We talked about Alexa Plus from Amazon coming in late March to start, Nobi with smart lights with fall detection, and BlackLyte as well. All the best, everyone. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll chat with you next weekend for a brand new episode of Tech It Out. Bye-bye for now.